Welcome to the Cookie Life Network, where we're whisking it all. I'm Beth.
And I'm Allison. And don't forget, you can catch up on all the Cookie Community current events when you follow us on Instagram at Cookie Life Network.
That is right. And today we're going to be talking with Amanda from Tough Cookie X.
But first, let's start off with this week's Best of the Zest.
Yeah.
We decided to focus on the tools that we use to help us make our cookies and decorate. And I chose my very favorite Scribe from Borderlands Bakery.
Oh,
It
that's a
is
good one. Oh my gosh, you just knocked your microphone out. My God.
destroying everything over here. It is Lisa's stainless steel Scribe.
That's a good one. It's so heavy too.
It is. And it's like the size of a pencil. So it holds really well up here. Sharp as though. So it comes with a cover. You guys need to be very careful when you use it. Super sharp. It's great for popping bubbles. It's great for like just oscillating and getting rid of those little tips in your floods. This chisel's no joke either, by the way. It will scrape your cookie so clean where you can just start over. I
Yeah.
make a lot of mistakes, and so this Scribe has saved me so many times.
You know what I saw yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I saw Mara at
Burnt
the Burnt
Cookies by
Cookies.
Moran.
She was using that to scrape off some royal icing transfers, the little
Yes.
rainbows, and it was so satisfying. I was just like,
And it's so perfect because, like I said, this edge can get under anything and just
yeah.
goes.
How's it go?
So, but again, no joke. This is not something to mess with when you're washing it. You need to be careful.
Yeah.
And you need to not drop it because it will put a hole in your floor. Like, but
Danger.
it's one of my favorite tools, and it's pretty much the only Scribe I use now.
It's crazy how when you find a good one that you love, you hang on to it, you know.
And it's nothing fancy. You don't see any beads. You don't see anything sparkly, and
But it gets the job done
it
well.
does. And I think part of it is because it's so heavy. It's
Mhm.
easy, but it's not too heavy to where you're just like, oh, I don't want to use it. But it's heavy enough, like it just balances really well on your hand.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It's my favorite. And it's not
Yay.
expensive. It's not expensive. It's under $10. So
Really?
and you
See?
don't have to replace it because all those other little plastic boo-boo strips, boo-boo
Boo-boo?
sticks,
Oh, boo-boo sticks. Okay. Oh,
they
God.
all like crinkle or get like messed up on the
Yeah.
corners.
Mhm.
And you have to replace them, right? They cost $2 and you have to replace them anyways. This is under $10 and it's going to last you forever.
Yeah. Good call. Good call.
And what do you love?
Okay. One of my favorite tools. Da-da-da. The Chua mat. Girl. You know, at first, I'll be honest, I didn't think it was that big of a game changer. Wait, like before I used it. You know what I mean?
Well, I
When it-
notice people either like them or they don't.
well, it was I was using parchment paper and I was like, this is fine. There's like I mean,
Mm.
could it be that much better? Okay. So, um mistakes you make as a cookier, things you
Mhm.
wish you would have done different. I wish I would have invested in one for every pan I own
Mhm.
from the minute I started. It's that big of a difference to me. Like not only like the cookie spread,
Mhm.
but the even bake on the bottom, it's that texture when you bite into that cookie that's on a chewer mat, it hits different.
Mhm.
It's a different texture. And like I said, my cookies don't you can stack them on top of each other. Look at the top of it and it just looks like one solid cookie.
Mhm. And you can put your cookie cutter right on top of your cookie and
And
be like,
there's
"Oh,
yeah,
look." It's the
yeah,
exact same size.
yeah.
And I was the
Love
same
it.
way when I first got them. I only got like 4, I think. And the next thing you know, you're constantly washing them and like swapping them out to different pans because you don't have enough.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it was well worth the investment to go ahead and buy them.
Absolutely. If you're a new cookier and you see these everywhere, these pink perforated mats, um, Arlene at Chua Mats, uh, designed these, and it's a tool you got to have, in my opinion.
And what I love about them too is the bottom, the little wafer bottom,
Yeah.
it can get caramelized and your cookie
Oh.
is so you have that really yummy caramelized taste, but your cookie is still
It's still
soft.
soft. Yes, it is. It's a great
Like
product.
there's so many people that are like, "Oh, I burned my cookies. Look at the bottom." And I'm like, "No, they're
No,
still
you didn't burn
soft."
them. I know
They
that's
taste
like
so
my Jessica
yummy.
loves the caramelized bottom. Like the more caramelized, like I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, they're not burnt. It's the butter's caramelized. And
Mhm.
yeah, some people like them like that.
And I'm a cookier that I would rather have the crunchier, more caramelized cookie. I don't sell them like that, but that's what I would rather eat.
Yeah.
So I love that I kind of get the both best of both worlds in
Yeah.
here. And I will say too, because I've tried them, there are some mats on Amazon that are a darker color, but they're just like, oh, I think they're for eclairs, but they're the same perforated mat. It's
It's
not
not
the
the same.
same because the black absorbs the heat. So I don't like them. So
Yeah.
I have to stick with the pink mats.
Yes, Arlene designed these mats. She knows what she's doing. It's a great product. I can't
And she has
can't say
so
enough
many
about it.
sizes now. So many
Yes,
sizes.
yes.
I think
So
it's eight,
I'm not
sizes.
sure, but I'll definitely link everything that we both used in here. And if you want to see how we use these products, I'll do a video about with the mats and show the no spread, and those will be on our yeah. And Allison will do a video with the Scribe, and those will be up on our Patreon for our royal
Royal
icing tier.
icing.
Okay, so Allison, tell them about our new segment, the burnt batch.
We we are introducing a new segment. It's called the burnt batch, and basically what it is not necessarily us burning our cookies, but we're losing our cookies somehow, right? Mentally, physically, basically cookie fails. Stories about cookie fails.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to go first and I'm going to tell you about. I have so many stories for this segment. It's
We
really
all
not.
do. It happens to all of us. That's why.
Right. All right. Okay, so it had been a crazy week over here, and because I still do custom cookies, right? And one of I guess it was a Sunday morning, and I was like, "Oh, thank you, Jesus. I do not have to get up." Captain Cookie brought me coffee in bed, and I was like, "Oh, yes, hallelujah. This is going to be a good day." So I'm sitting there checking my emails, looking at all your social media stuff, see what's happened while you were asleep. And I get a text message at 7:30 a.m. It's from one of my best customers, and it
I can
reads,
like feel this already. I'm like, oh, I know what it's gonna say.
Mhm. She was like, "Hey girl, I forgot to check in with you yesterday. Um, what time do I need to swing by to pick up the cookies for the party at 2:30?" Uh, oh my God. It's just a cookier's worst nightmare, like, oh, for the love of sweet baby Jesus, I cannot. I jump up. I mean, I just panic set in because she had an order previously that she had to cancel it because they had the panorama at their house. And then she rescheduled it, and for whatever reason it didn't get transferred. So I'm in the kitchen frantically playing flour, butter, name it, and I'm like, and was it 2 dozen? I think it was 2 dozen, yeah, cookies that had to be made. So, they were not my best cookies, because it was tutti frutti, 2 year old's birthday party, but they did get done. But it was
Mhm.
a freaking emotional. Like it took me several hours after the fact, because when they pulled up to meet me, I'm I'm in here. I'm in here with the poppy paint with the super soaker. I'm just flinging poppy paint. But I got them done. But
Was it dry enough to package even, or did you just give them like on a platter?
I have Uline 16 by 16 white pizza boxes, cardboard pizza
Mm,
boxes. And so I laid parchment paper in them, and though they were not dry enough to package, they were laid out nicely in the box.
mm. That's
But
happened to
she
me
was
too.
like, "Oh my god, everybody loved the cookies, and they were so fresh." I'm like, because I made them
You're
5 hours
like,
ago."
it's almost
Yeah.
like your like real life Instagram doing it super fast, like times 30.
Oh yeah, it was a mess. It was a hot mess for sure. I don't ever want to do that again, and I won't, because you know what I have?
My custom bakes.
My custom bakes, which I'll put a link for that in here too, y'all. It's free. Go sign up.
No, because I've done the exact same thing. My
Oh
neighbor
god,
said, "You know what happened? I was at CookieCon last year and I took an order. And then it was like one of those weeks where it was like the Monday was a holiday or something. And
yeah.
then she's like, "Hey, can I pick these up on Wednesday?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, no problem." Not realizing the next day was Wednesday. And I'm like, and it was like 8 dozen cookies.
Eight
I,
dozen.
but I only had 4 designs. So I just like bust them out, you know. But I was just like,
Oh.
that's not my burnt batch, by the way. But I think we can all relate to your story. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, it's a nightmare. I don't ever, that's a horrible feeling. Like
Mm.
that my good day was just totally went to,
It just sinks, and you're like,
oh, yes, it was horrible.
and
Okay,
it's like cookies are hard when you have 4 days to do them, let alone 4 hours, you know?
oh, yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Okay. So this is not an in particular, like specific incident. This is
Yeah.
just my cookie fail in general, my
Yeah.
personality. And I don't know if anyone else does this. And I'm sure you guys are all going to be commenting below going, don't be dumb. Don't be stupid. Charge your worth, right? Um, I give away a lot of free cookies. Yeah. Like what I'm a sucker for my kids' teachers. I'm like, you guys work so hard already, and I don't want to give you to give me the little pay that you already, you know, I'm like, you guys are working so hard during this panorama, and teachers are so underpaid. And I don't let them pay me. I'm just, yeah.
Alison. Okay, so let me ask you a question though. So is it a situation where have you started to be taken advantage of?
No,
Okay.
no, it hasn't
Okay.
been that way. There's one teacher that she just loves the cookies. And so she always comes back to me, and I think one time I let her pay me like basically the cost of the cookies because it was her kid's birthday. But yeah, normally I'm just like, no, I'm like, I'm
Okay,
working
I'm
hard
gonna
to
say
do.
2 things. You're kind and you're crazy. I
And
mean,
then like I just hi. I just took another order for the end of March, and I was just like, nope, nope, military discount. You're good. Don't worry about it. Because again, I'm like, you are serving our country and everything. The least I can do is give you cookies. You know,
Mhm.
like there's just some
I don't
things
think we
that
can all do that though. I appreciate that, and I wish I could, but I mean, I have to charge because I have
I
to
should
make.
be charging.
Yeah,
I do
you
need to
should.
charge. That's not.
Mhm. Mhm.
But like something inside me, like I'm just that person that's just like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
you know, and I don't charge
Mhm. You know how I feel
them.
about that. You got to
Yeah.
charge your worth. And my big thing is, I really don't have a problem with people like complaining about my prices, because they know every January
Hmm.
I'm giving myself a raise. They know that my cookies are expensive. I have a 2 dozen minimum. I have a no refund policy. I've refunded one person my whole journey, and it was because they had a death in the family. And I mean, it is what it is. Things happen. But I have always been a huge fan of, my prices are based on my talent, not your budget, because
Mhm.
your budget's going to get you what it's going to get. And I understand people having a budget. Yeah, I could.
And I'm the same way. And I think that's why I feel okay. So the way I started cookies
Mhm,
was I did not want to pay our local cookier $60 a dozen, right?
mhm.
And now I charge much more than that. I'm like, I charge way more than what I wouldn't have paid before.
Right.
And like you, I have a 2 dozen minimum normally until someone like my heartstrings are pulled and I'm like, okay, yeah, you can just do a dozen.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm.
I am that sucker. And again, no one's trying to take advantage of me.
Right.
I do it to myself. I do it
Right.
to myself.
Right.
That is my biggest cookie fail. So, yeah. So you guys can type in the comments
How much
if you
time
have
do you
any
have?
advice. If you have advice for me, yeah, this is like a therapy session now. If you have
Right.
advice for me on how to fix that, or if you just want to be like, you're dumb, that's fine too. Because
You're
I
kind and you're
know.
crazy.
Because I tell people all the time, don't do that. Charge your worth. And then I sit here and just like, but you only make so much. Like in my head, I was just like, I know how, like, again, I charge more than probably the average cookier in my area. And a lot of that's because I do a lot of florals. Or, I've taken classes from Maya at the Painted Lady. And so there's a lot of sculpting or a lot of painting involved. And we all know that's time, right? And a lot of people don't realize that a set of cookies can sometimes take you up to 5 days to do,
Ooh.
you know? So I charge for my time, but then I'm just like, when you see that number, that even when I quote people, I'm like, whoa, sticker shock for me, let alone them, you know? So then
I
I
don't
just
have
start
that
feeling bad.
problem. I do not have that problem. I'm gonna send you invoice. You got 24 hours to pay it. If not, I'm canceling it. I'm sorry.
So, and
And
I
then
do say all the time, I'm like, hey, I get it if this is not going to work for you. And I tell them, I go, and if it's not, I can give you a list of names that I refer to people to as well. So,
right, right, yeah. Well,
it
that's
goes
good.
hand in
We
hand,
see, yeah,
friend.
because I don't have these problems. You're
Like I said,
too
that's my
nice.
biggest cookie
You're
fail.
too nice, and that's. I mean, you're too nice to a fault. That's
Yeah.
okay. We still love you. All right, so that's it for the burnt batch this week. And if you have a crazy story, let us know so that we may can feature you in our next burnt batch.
Yeah. Put it in the comments. Write your biggest cookie fail, or business fail in general. It doesn't even have to be a cookie fail. What's the biggest business fail you've had and either need to fix or you're just like, oh, it's such a lesson learned. And we'll
Right.
probably have a whole episode about
That
cookie
you could teach
fails.
us that we
Yeah.
might need to learn. All right.
Today, we'll be introducing yet another new segment. It's called The Baker's Dozen. This is where we're going to highlight an Instagram account.
Yes. So what we'll do is Allison and I will pick 13 posts from that Instagram account and we'll have them on to briefly describe each post and get to know them a little better.
Today, let's get started with Tough Cookie X.
Help me welcome Amanda from the Tough Cookie X today. Yay!
Hi, guys.
Thanks for
Thank you for
joining us.
coming.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Now, for people who don't or aren't familiar with your IG account, can you just let us know when you got started and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, so I started, it was like end of October, beginning of November of 2018. So it's been just a couple years now. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
And now your name, Tough Cookie X. What's the X stand for?
The X is for my son, Xavier. We actually call him X for short. We always have since he was a newborn anyways. So, and then, yeah, when I started doing cookies, I knew that I wanted the name to have some sort of a meaning. And I feel like there's a lot of, tough cookie logos and businesses and things like that out there. So, and I knew that I wanted to obviously incorporate him. So slapped that X at the end.
Well, and he is one tough cookie, as we know. Tell us a little bit about Xavier, and because March is Brain Injury Awareness Month, and tell us a little bit about that and how that has affected you and your family.
Yeah. So, in February of 2016, right before Xavier turned 6, he suffered a traumatic brain injury. We still don't know why. He had just a cold and a fever, which was nothing new for him. You know, he always gets a fever every time he has a little cold even.
Right.
Gave him Motrin, got the fever to break, put him to bed, and he was fine. He got up at like 7 and had a sip of water and said goodbye to dad when he went to work. And then like 8:45 rolled around and I was like, it's weird that he's still sleeping. And yeah, so I went in to check on him and he was seizing and he had never had a seizure before. So that kind of just spiraled into everything else. And like I said, we still don't know, no idea what caused all of it.
Right.
But he does. Yeah, he has a seizure disorder now and permanent brain damage. So Brain Injury Awareness Month is a big deal in our house.
Absolutely. And Xavier is one tough cookie.
You were
Yes.
And so are you, by the way. I can't imagine
Absolutely.
going through that as a mother. Like,
yeah.
so scary. And how long was he in the hospital?
3.5 weeks total. He was in a coma for like 3-4 days. And then the rest of it was just, you know, trying to figure out, running more tests, trying to figure out what happened and keeping him seizure free and things like that. So it was long road. It's still a long road, but
Right. So tell us a little bit about, you do something special with your cookie business every March. And I know you're in Alberta, Canada.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about March and what you do and how that works at your house every March.
yeah. So I know like I believe in Canada, Brain Injury Awareness Month is in June, but in the States it is in March and Xavier's birthday is March 14th. So I choose every March to do a fundraiser. And I sell green ribbon cookies because one of the things that the green ribbon stands for is brain injury awareness. So I sell those, and then all of the proceeds, I have people nominate like a local special needs family every year, and we just put all the names into a bowl. Xavier picks one, and then that's the family that gets all of the proceeds from the fundraisers.
That is
I love
so
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Now, do you by
That is-
any chance also have like maybe a PayPal account that if someone wanted to donate directly, because I'm not in Canada, I can't help, I can't buy cookies from you. So if there's some place I want to donate to contribute to this fund, is that possible?
Yeah, totally. I think normally the way I do it for the fundraiser is I just have people message me if they want cookies. And then here in Canada, I know in the States we don't have that, but they have bank transfers. So a lot of people pay that way. But I think this time, just to keep it easier for myself, I'm going to do it all on my website. So on March 1st at 7 p.m., I'm going to just list them all there. And then people can go in and buy them. And then if they want, you know, they can send extra if they want to as well. But yeah. Because there are
Awesome.
people sometimes who just, they want to pay extra, or there's other people. I've had people in like Ontario and different provinces that just want to donate, you know, which, so yeah.
That's
I love that.
awesome.
So part of the Baker's Dozen is that we are going to show 13 either facts or posts about you, and then you can just give us a little background on it.
Awesome.
Yay.
So this is number one. Okay, so here's the thing. I saw recently in your stories that I do not enjoy doing character sets. Do you consider this a character set? Is this considered a themed set?
This kind of set I don't mind doing. I actually loved doing this set. When I think of characters, I think of like their faces. That's like my least favorite thing. Like
Yeah.
Disney princesses and
One Tweck eye will ruin the whole cookie.
and I can never get their eyeballs to look right. Even when I'm done, I'm like, That,
They're like this.
yeah. I'm like, why do you guys want me to do these cookies? They're not cute.
And noses are impossible too. I can't do
Yes.
noses to save my life.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad I'm not the only one. I just did a set that was like Olaf entangled, and I was like, my hurts. I had to get like one of my cookie paintbrushes with water and wash off the marker so many times and redo it. I was like, I'm not enjoying this.
Yeah, life's too short to be doing character
Right?
cookies. Yes.
Right? It
Yes.
really
I
is.
know. I did a JoJo Siwa set, and I'm like,
Oh,
I
Lord.
see why I don't do this. Hey,
I
Yeah,
had someone ask
Alison
me
and
for
I-
LOL, and I'm like, don't even ask me for
No.
LOL. It's
No.
never going to happen.
I'm like, oh my Lanta. Yeah. No.
I know. Well, Alice and I both picked this set, though. I
Mhm.
love this set.
Thank you. I loved doing them. I have only done Alice in Wonderland one other time, and it was like when I first started doing cookies. So I was like, I've been wanting to do these again. They were so much fun.
So
Love-
pretty.
And
Thank
I
you.
do love that it's like you can tell right away what it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's not like you have a white rabbit in there. You don't have like Alice is not right there, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's perfect.
Okay, this is our second set, and I love some Office. I love it. Allison, do you watch The Office?
I think I'm the only one in the world that hasn't. So every time I see a set of cookies, I'm like, I wish
Yeah.
I knew these jokes, but I
Like-
don't.
They're
You know-
good.
To be honest, like me and the Hubs tried to watch it maybe once or twice, and I was like, this is dumb, turn it off. And then doing cookies, I was like, you know what? Everyone keeps telling me I have to give it a try. So I had just kind of had it going in the background, and I was like, this is the best show ever.
I know.
It's so good. It's so funny.
It really is. It really is funny. It's
Oh.
a great show. And like my kids have watched it like we're on our 5th time watching like every episode. I'm like,
Yeah.
good Lord. But yes, I love this set. Love this set. I
So-
mean, there's so many all the people. Oh my gosh. And
And it's so smart too because it's like black and white. You're not mixing 500 colors. You know?
Yeah, I live for those sets. And I love being able to just flood a white cookie and then use an edible marker and just draw the people. I'm here for it.
A projector is a cookier's best friend.
Yes. Yeah. It really is.
Okay, Allison. This is an Allison pick, and I'm so here for it.
This is an Allison pick. So now I will say your feed is not for the sensitive, right? This
And
is
that's
probably
okay.
one of the most least offensive cookies, you know, but
Yeah.
not that you do offensive cookies, but you know, sometimes there's some F-bombs in there.
I love it. I'm here for it.
But this was one that resonated with me very much.
I sure do eat a lot of food for someone that expects to fit in clothes.
Yep. That's me.
And
Girl.
lucky for me, my cookier uniform is like a baggy shirt with leggings.
Yep.
So I don't have to expect to fit in clothes too much.
Yes. Thank the Lord.
Yes, this is a great cookie, by the way.
Thank you.
And you do a lot of message cookies just to be like, dude. And
Yep.
it resonates with a lot of people. And it's not necessarily like this. It's not a decorated cookie. It's just, hey, I'm just writing a message on here and this is how I feel. And I'm like, yeah, me too.
Yeah. Fun. If I have an extra cookie or one that like maybe didn't hold its shape that great, I'm like, well, something funny's going on that one.
Yeah.
That's a great way to look at it.
Right. Oh, I love those.
This is a
was one of my
great
picks,
set. I love this set. So pretty. Look at
Thank
all the florals. That's a lot
Yeah.
of detail you got going on in there, sister.
Yeah, I love florals. I didn't at first. It took
Yeah.
me and a lot of like watching of other people doing them to know, how to move that tip around and figure it out. But now that I have it down, I love them.
That's
such a sucker.
Allison. She
Yeah.
loves the floral.
And you know what I loved about this set? If you look at it, I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of these florals are different. you
Yeah.
didn't do a ton of the same floral. There are 6 different florals in this set. And I was just like, what?
Yeah, I try and switch it up and change them at least a little bit so that they're not all the same. I just like doing them that way. I love flowers in general, so
And I
Right.
love that it doesn't look heavy. You know, it's really easy to make your floral petals look really thick and heavy. It just looks so light and delicate. And then with the feather
That
in
feather.
there.
Yeah. All day, every
Oh,
day. You gotta love some Gilmore Girls. And I know, Allison, you're on this
I
train.
do. I'm all over this one.
Yes. Do what, Amanda?
best show ever. I love it.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
I
Oi, with the poodles already.
right? Right? I think that's some of my favorite cookies to do is when it's something that I really like Gilmore Girls. I'm like, yay!
I know. I know.
So, question for you. How many cookies were in this set? Do you remember?
I think she ordered 2 dozen.
Okay, because you look at this 2 dozen set, there are, you almost have 2 dozen different designs.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are very few repeats in here.
It looks
And-
like 12. No, I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's more than 12. What are you smoking? Oh my gosh. But I love the Gilmore Girls and
Yeah.
That's
And it's still so cohesive.
yes.
You know, even with all these designs, it's still super cohesive and I
mean,
love it.
the Chinese takeout box. I smell
Oh.
snow. Oh my gosh.
I think that's one of my downfalls when it is something that I really love. Like I'm so excited to do it that I want to do every single thing that I can. And then I end up with extras and I'm like, well, at least I have photographs and it was fun to do.
You've even got Kim's Antiques. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's great.
Favorite show. I've watched it so many times.
Same.
And luckily, it is a show, and probably with The Office too, that there are so many things like little jokes or little details that you can pull from and then end up with over 12 designs for 2
Yeah.
dozen.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's a great one. This might be my favorite set. Hmm. Tell me about this set.
I love it. And I love yeah. I was like, as soon as I searched the hashtag and your cookies came up, Beth, I was like, those are amazing. You're similar to those. You are so freaking talented.
Thank you.
So
And you as well. You as well. I mean, and you nailed it. It was, God. So I have 2 favorite movies, The Sound of Music, and number 2 is The Wizard of Oz. I mean, it just is what it is. I love The Wizard of Oz. And you did a great job. And you added things that I didn't. And I looked at yours, I was like, oh man, I didn't think about that. I think, and it's so fun to see how different artists can take the same theme and make it so different,
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it. I'm like, oh. So I was not originally a Wizard of Oz fan, and then my kid was in the production of it, and she was the evil Wicked Witch of the West, and then my other kid was a flying monkey. So I'm like, look at this. I'm like, oh, look at it. And now I'm obsessed. Of course, I know every line.
I love that.
Stage mom. But yeah, there are just so many details. I mean, even the grass next to her feet right there and under the house.
So much fun. They were so much fun to do. I think that's the only time I've been asked to do the Wizard of Oz too. So I was like, yes, let's go all out and really do it.
And again, how many cookies were in this set? Because I'm counting how many designs are there.
Yeah. It was only my minimum's only 12. I know a lot of cookiers do 2 dozen, but a lot of people here only order 12. And then with Rona and everything else, people aren't having the big parties. So yeah, I think it was just 12 if I remember right.
Yeah. They're beautiful.
Love
Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Yep. That's okay. This is a great cookie, Allison. You picked
another one of my picks. If you can't read it, it says, I run a type shipwreck. And again, it's one of those message cookies that resonated very much so with me.
The sinking ship. Here we go.
Yep. Hashtag mom life.
Right.
Yes, and hashtag cookie life.
That
Yeah.
too. Yep. It's so true.
Yes,
And
it
with that,
is.
maybe like, how do you balance everything? Because to have a special needs child, the cookie life, the mom life, just running your home, like, do you have a tight schedule that you have to go by, or is it just kind of roll with the punches?
I kind of just roll with the punches.
Yeah.
Very grateful. My husband helps a lot. He makes a lot of dinners. He does the laundry a lot on the weekends if I'm working. Like he's so great. And at first I just was running a business and taking care of a special needs son and doing it all. And I was like, I cannot do this all anymore. Like
Yeah.
I need you to help. And it's not even that I even had to ask. That's just my personality. I just do it all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
But
Because we know mentally you have to take care of yourself to be able to take care of everybody else.
yes.
So, and it's hard for us moms though, or to put ourselves first sometimes
Yeah.
because we tend to want to just run a tight shipwreck.
And I honestly, I don't think our spouses get enough credit because I don't think people realize when you become a cookier, that it takes so much time. And like even right now, guess who's feeding my kids?
Yeah.
Guess who, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here and someone else is taking care of my kid. You know, he is our spouses and our husbands, they take on a lot when we have the cookie life, you
Yeah.
know, because it
Yep.
is all encompassing.
Jingle bells, jingle bells. You're welcome.
I,
This was one of my picks too.
Yep. This is
I
a
love it.
great set. There's so much going on and it makes me it's just warm. It looks so inviting.
Oh, yay. Thank you.
And it's
Yeah.
like super bold without being like the typical green and red. You know, it's not like the Kelly green that you're used to.
No.
Yeah.
And it is just so bold and yet it's just rich looking. And
Yeah, it's
there's so
pretty.
much detail. I love it.
Thank you.
Yes.
People are
Yeah.
going to get sick of me saying, "Oh, I love it," but I do.
It's a good set. I mean, you've got my favorite, and what just stood out to me was I love the envelope with the dear Santa coming out with the holly and oh my
Oh, yeah.
gosh, I love that. But then I love them all. So yeah, good job
Yeah,
on
I think
this
my
one.
favorite was the
You.
books. I
Yeah.
loved the books.
Yeah.
But then I love how you have the books, the letter, and then you have the simple branch. Like
Yeah.
you mix it all in where there's detailed and simple in there. And it's just it makes for a really good composition. I
It
really
does.
like
It just flows.
Oh, thank you.
It
I love
looks good.
Christmas is my favorite. So,
Same. You're magic. Own that shit.
yes. Yes.
Oh, this is
Sometimes
great.
you just need that reminder. And I'm all about putting those reminders out into the universe for everyone to see.
Well, and I mean, and I love that about you, Amanda. I swear I do. I mean, when I first came across your account, that's what drew me in. Is
Oh,
the own that shit.
yeah.
I love it, and you
And I
own
think
it.
so many of us need to hear that. You
Yes.
know, there are so many times, even daily, that I'm just like, and then you're just like, F that. No, I've got this. You know, I did a great job at that bake sale.
Yeah.
You know, my kids are fed and they're alive.
Exactly. I am winning.
That's right. It's been a good day.
Yep.
This is a Beth pick, and I love it. I love me some
Oh.
Peter Pan, girl.
Me too. Me too. And I did these like not long after I started doing cookies, and I'm like waiting for someone else to ask for Peter Pan because I want to do them again.
I know. Okay, so I'm in love with Hook's jacket. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
I love that movie.
Yes, I do too.
So
I do
good.
too. Are you a Peter Pan fan, Allison?
I did do a Peter Pan set though. I did do,
What
but
is wrong with you, woman?
you know, I need princesses in music. I need a
for
lot
the
of music.
love.
I can't just watch little boys dressed up like animals walking through the woods. I'm
You
sorry.
you don't have princesses, you have mermaids. You've got Wendy. We've got Indians who are singing at the teepee,
But you know
girl.
what? I feel like it's a very long movie. I need stuff to be happening.
Oh
I
my
need
god,
people
I
swinging
love
from their
Wendy.
hair. I don't know.
That's another show, Allison. Settle down.
But I did do a Peter Pan set, and it was actually very similar to this. But again, I love that it's a character set, but it's not characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do that well, by the way.
Yes. I thank you. I that I'll do.
Right.
Characters, I'm like, okay, can we do like these kinds of things instead?
Mhm.
And I think part of it too is I'm a girl mom. And so, like, to me, I'm just like, oh, look at Tinkerbell. Look at her dress. Da-da-da-da. But I'm just like, there's a
The
map.
Lost Boys. What?
Oh.
So this is an Allison pick.
It is. I love this because I have scissors just like this.
Do you?
I
Oh.
do.
Oh,
So my pre-cookie life, I was an apparel designer.
oh
And so
wow.
I have scissors like this that were actually my grandmother's. And so I'm just like, I love the like
Ah.
needle and thread and just all the detail. And because
Yeah.
in these scissors, it's so much filigree and so much scroll work, and I was just like, I love this set.
It is very pretty. When I see it, I immediately think Cinderella. Like
Yeah.
them making her dress.
True.
I think like Gus is off to the side.
My God,
And yeah.
But I think it was just a sewing set, wasn't it? Like you had a spool, you had
Yeah.
a sewing machine and everything. But I was just like, this cookie, I love it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I
this is a
don't think.
Beth pick, and I love all these colors. I love fall. Wait, say again.
Thank you.
It's a warm hug for me. I'm wanting to sit right in the middle and eat all those pies.
I'm a pie girl too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Me too. I love fall. Fall's my favorite. So.
And
Yeah.
how much do I love that the simplest thing like splatter can add so much to a set.
Right.
It can make it look a little bit more rustic. It can make I love it. It's just like, oh, it's missing something. Let's do a paintbrush swipe or splatter. And it's just the smallest thing can make it just elevate to the next level.
Make it pop. So my favorite one in this one is that blueberry pie up there at the top because that crust looks so fluffy and I love a good crust. And it looks like it's done. Like it got done. Like I don't know if you put some brown on it to make it look like
Yeah.
Yeah, girl. It's toasted like to perfection. I'm hungry.
Now we're hungry.
Yes.
Where do you start as a mom about your kids? I love how he's himself no matter what.
Oh,
He just deep down he cares, if people love him and like him and things like that, but no matter what, he's gonna be who he is. He likes pufferfish and he likes dinosaurs and he's gonna tell you how he feels, whether you like it or not. And I don't know where he gets that from. No.
Own that shit.
Favorite thing.
He gets it from you. Own it.
Like, no.
Okay, wait. We didn't hear you say that again, Amanda.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite thing about him, that he's
himself.
yes, he's unapologetically him at all times.
That's awesome.
I think so too. That's something, I think that it's something to aspire to be, because there's so many people that aren't that way, and I feel like it's good to be who you are and own it.
Right. And it's tough enough to be a kid anyway when everything's going, right or easier for you.
Mhm.
But for him and to be such a tough little cookie, Well, I love it. I love it.
He's amazing.
So we hope that this segment helps raise some awareness for March, which is Brain Injury Awareness Month.
Yeah.
And what we're asking or challenging other cookiers to do is make some green ribbons in your area and do the same thing that Amanda's doing. She's making cookies, she's selling them at a discounted rate, and she is then providing a family with that money so for a special needs child, right? That has a
Yeah.
special needs child, and help that way we raise awareness and we have more people getting more help. And I love that. And I can't
Yeah.
thank you enough for taking time out to come hang out with us for a little while today.
Oh, it was so much fun. Thank you guys for asking me. And the more awareness we can bring, the better. I know having a special needs kiddo isn't always easy in any way, but financially as well. So any way I can help, I'm here for it.
Yeah, and if you guys don't want to find your own special, like if it's difficult for you to find a family to donate your proceeds to Amanda and she will find someone to give it to, or donate it to a charity or, an
Yes.
organization that helps with brain injuries. And it's not just, special needs children, it's, vets with PTSD. There's so many different brain injuries that you can donate and bring awareness to. It's also Epilepsy Awareness Month.
Yep.
And we can do this again in June.
Yeah.
Right.
For Canada,
Yeah. And didn't you say that on your website, if somebody wanted to go just donate, that March you're going to have up on your website where somebody could just donate funds if they wanted? Okay.
Yep.
So in the video, in the description, we'll have links to your website and all that, and some links to maybe the March awareness in the States, because like we said earlier, in Canada, it's in June, which is where you're located, but in the States, it is March. And Xavier, I don't know, did we record all that? I can't remember.
I don't remember either. Yeah.
I know, because Xavier's birthday is March the 14th?
14th. Yep.
14th. Well, happy early birthday to him, and thank you so much.
Thank
Alison,
you.
you got anything else?
That's it. Thanks for joining us, Amanda. We appreciate it.
It was so fun hanging out.
It was. Thank you guys for having me. I hope you guys have fun at CookieCon.
Yes, girl.
We're just like,
believe it's like it's here. It's here. It's
Crazy
time. Yes. All right, girl. We will see you later. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank y'all so much for stopping by today. We truly appreciate each and every one of you. First of all, I want to shout out Sam at Sam's Cookie University. Y'all be sure to head over to Facebook and check out her Facebook group.
We also wanted to thank some of our many supporters like Sonny from Treats by Sonny.
Yes, and Bethany from Flowered by Bethany.
Hannah from Wildflower, Louisiana.
Deb from the Bucky Baker.
Ray from Ray Marie Bakes.
Grace from the Graceful Baker.
Victoria from Little Penelope's.
And Katie from Katie.airs.
We also want to thank all of our Patreons that did not want a specific shout out. You know who you are, and we appreciate you.
Yes, thank y'all so much.
And just remember, in this cookie life, sometimes we crumble.
Sometimes we burn.
But we always rise up.
Thanks.
See you guys later.